Hi guys, it's reaction time. Man, I've got so much to do. I've been building it up this week. I usually try to keep up, and I've come to the weekend. I've literally got about 15 or 16 that I want to get through. So you're going to see loads of reactions come out in the next few days. The first one is from the band Extreme. Need no introduction, obviously. They brought out a single a little while ago. I liked it. It was okay. I didn't like the chorus. And I got corrected a few times because I can't remember what I said about it. I thought it was a whoa chorus, but it doesn't. It actually says the, I think it says up or something like that. But I got corrected in the comments and a few people had a bit of a go at me. And rightfully so, you know, if you love your band, you stick up for them. But I still don't like the chorus, so there you go. They brought out 2 songs this week, so both from the forthcoming album. Obviously, the first one's called Banshee. So Extreme are they're a big deal. So here we go for the first one. I'm going to do both, one after the other. You might not see them uploaded one after the other, but I'm going to do both. So this is Extreme and Banshee. Here we go. I like the groove to this one. I really do. I like that riff. I like the way that sounds. Very cool indeed. Bit of a similar sound, I would say, to the first single. It's got that sort of had that heavy sort of groove, the riffing going on. It seemed to have sort of lost. I mean, I didn't hear 3 Sides to Every Story a lot, and I know those albums are well thought of. I don't think there was at the time when I was you know, when it was in the 80s, or was that early 90s, that album. But obviously, I think they lost a lot of their funk from the first couple of albums, I believe, in 3 Sides of Every Story, and that was a completely different sort of concept album. But I have got to catch up with the album because I've heard loads of great things about it. So I don't know if this is more along the, you know, the lines of 3 Sides to Every Story. I've heard little bits and pieces of that. This is very sort of more straightforward rock. You know, and I used to like that about Extreme. I think they were different, giving us that real funk side on, especially Porno Graffiti, you know, when that was out. I listened to that album constantly. I absolutely loved that album. And it was very funky, and like I said, it was a lot different than a lot of bands out there now. I think they're almost in the straightforward rock sort of category now. you know, and nothing wrong with that. But, you know, rock these days is quite a hard genre to really sort of stand out. I think this stands out mainly. I mean, like the first single, the guitar work was just amazing. And I think that was the best thing about that first single. I'm sort of getting the feels on this as well. It's very groovy, groove-laden riffs going on. Quite like the backing vocals in the chorus. I like the chorus actually better in this one than I did on the first single. For me, this has shades and, you know, there's some connections there. Van Halen, a little bit, I would say, especially in that chorus, the way the harmonising vocals are going along in the actual chorus. I think it's got some Van Halen, not saying influence, but definitely sort of reminds me a little bit of that. But really like this one. I think it's really good. But I do prefer, and I don't want them to go back and do something and retread old ground or anything like that. But what I liked about Extreme was that funk, you know, they had, and it was different and it was cool, and like I said, you know, it's the same with the Metallica album. I don't want them to go and retread Master of Puppets or you know, Ride the Lightning. They've got to do different stuff now. They're a different type of band. They're in a different place. I understand that. What I feel this doesn't have, and I don't want to upset any Extreme fans again, I feel like it's missing some energy. And I think that a lot of that was brought on, although the guitar work is good, it's really good, and that solo in the last song was amazing. I feel like the energy in Extreme was brought on way back when, was through the real cool guitar playing, literally, you know, the lead playing through the song, not just the lead guitar solo. There was some really energetic lead playing and amazing stuff that would blow your mind, you know, not just the solo like the last song did, by the way. The solo was amazing. But I'm missing some of that lead playing during the actual song. All we get any sort of cool riffs, but that's about it. And, you know, you've heard these sort of riffs before, I have. You know, that sort of riff is, you know, I've heard plenty of riffs like that. I'm not saying it ain't a good riff, but Extreme, you know, they was sort of, at the time, back then, above a lot of bands because of the way they sounded, because they was original. The only thing I think this is lacking is a bit of originality. I really do. It's not that I don't like it, but when I come to my favourite songs or albums of the year now, I usually go for those albums that give me something a little bit different now, you know, something a little bit special that stands out amongst the crowd. And is this song really standing out over other rock bands at the moment? I don't know. Anyway, let's go for the rest. Oh yeah. It was a good song, man. It was really good. But, I mean, the solo, by the way, it's just, I mean, that, for me, that again is the standout part of this. The guitar playing in that solo was just outstanding. I love the sort of, it really gave a really fun, there was really fun rhythm behind it as well. Very cool, made me smile, the actual solo. I mean, if a solo can make you smile, that's a good fucking result. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, very clever. I love the way he sort of, he's so original when he's soloing. You know, the way he's working his way up the fretboard in those sort of dampened strings. I think he'd done something similar, although the last solo was a lot longer, obviously. But very cool. I like it. I'm not mad about it. And I know that, you know, that you have to... Obviously, extreme fans ain't going to be too happy with me, but that's fine. Do you know what I mean? You guys know me on this channel that I don't like to be negative, especially towards bands that are unknown. I won't be negative towards bands that are unknown, actually, or trying to make it. Extreme are a well-known band, and I'm sure, you know, there's a lot of fans that are really happy with the first couple of songs. I've looked at the comments just as I was looking at that video. This cat is so fucking annoying, but nothing, you know, nothing I say is going to change extreme fans' minds, and nothing I say should. This is just my opinion. So, you know, I've heard, for me, there's rock bands that have brought albums out this year already that are amazing. You know, the Doomsday Outlaw album this year, although it's a bit different than this, a bit more southern feeling. They're a rock band though, and that, songwriting wise, is miles ahead for me. It's energetic, but it's still a rock album. I think rock is really hard to feel energy in. You can get that energy in metal quite, you know, if the band still have to write well, but the energy sometimes gets sucked out of rock music a little bit. That's only my opinion, by the way. But it's still a good song. There's some great guitar work on it, some great rhythms, some great groove. There's no doubt about it. This band have got some groove. I just think they've done better, in my opinion. Guys, let me know what you think of this song. I will be doing the other song as well that's just come out. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below. I'll see you soon.